Hello everyone and welcome back to a new healing session. Today I bring you a healing session that is all about your gut. We're gonna help you out here because I know a lot of people suffer from gut health or like imbalances, bloating and everything like that. And I thought now comes the perfect time because we entered November. Depending where you're from, you're probably gonna celebrate Thanksgiving, and then in December Christmas comes up, and obviously we all love eating. I'm gonna out on a limb here and say that, but we love eating, and maybe in your culture eating is something really important, and therefore everything revolves around food. And I want to help you out here with this healing session. I'm gonna go get my notebook real quick so I can read you out loud what it is I have planned out for today. So the one thing I want to focus on today is your detox. You're gonna detox everything in the stomach area, your gut, and all the intestines. They don't come to my mind right now, but it's okay. I think you understand what I'm trying to explain. We're also helping out balancing bad and good bacteria, help your digestion, improve your diet. And by that I don't mean that I want you to change everything that you eat and stuff like that. You probably are missing out on some foods that you really like because your stomach doesn't react really well to it, and but you just sometimes catch yourself being like, I really want to eat that but I shouldn't because I already ate last week and my stomach didn't handle it, stuff like that, right? And I kind of want to help you out here that your body is going to able to digest food perfectly fine with no issues, so that you can live out your cravings a little bit more and don't feel like you have to miss out on a lot of your favorite foods. Probably in the past you could eat them perfectly fine, but now all of a sudden your stomach was like, nope, not anymore. You cannot enjoy this. This is not for you anymore. And I kind of want to give that back to you. Something we're also going to help out is with inflammation and bloating. So we have quite a lot of good crystals to help us out. I'm going to try to get my notebook a little bit closer here. And for example, I since I can remember, I've been drinking milk every single day for breakfast. But I stopped taking birth control last year. I've been taking birth control before that for like 4 years. And then I stopped because I was like, I don't want to put unnecessarily amounts of birth control into my body. And also because my gynecologist just was like, here, that's the solution to everything. And then I noticed that I've been breaking out so bad this year, still after not taking the birth control for like almost 9 months. And then I started to think about the problem was actually the milk. My body then all of a sudden could not digest dairy that well after taking the birth control because my body was so unbalanced. And it has gotten better. It's clearing up pretty nicely now, but I miss it. I miss drinking milk every single day. And I feel like some of you probably have something similar with other food, and we're gonna give that back to you. So we're gonna get right into the session here. The first thing we're gonna do is gut detox, and we have here this tiny little bloodstone, but it's so good at detoxifying the body, which comes perfectly for this session. So I'm gonna run that through your whole body. Quickly gonna sweep away anything that has been, what's the word? Separated, cleansed away, and we're just gonna sweep that away out of our auric field so that then your body can start to let go now. Something I suggest is drinking a lot of water after you watch the video, because then you can help flush out everything. And there might be a possibility that you're gonna have to go to the toilet a lot after you watch this video, just because, you know, we're getting rid of everything, so don't be surprised if that was one of the symptoms. I'm gonna now take the bloodstone again. I'm gonna be focusing all on this area, the lower upper body, which is around here. We'll be sweeping that away again. And away and out of the body. I will be now quickly moving around the energy of our lower chakras, those that are not really knowledgeable. We have here our solar plexus, down here the sacral, and then kind of like at the base of our spine, this area is the root chakra. And when we have imbalances in our chakras, it can also affect the physical body. So I'm just going to be quickly moving that energy around if it's stuck to help a little bit out. But we will have a chakra series coming soon where we will be focusing individually on each chakra, not only on the mental aspects that it has, but also on like the physical impact it has on our bodies, which I think, yes, in 2 weeks will the first video come out, so look forward to that one. Next step is we're gonna help balance the bacteria. So I'm just gonna hold out my hands like a scale on the same height over your lower upper body part, or like middle ground in the body. I don't know how you want to call this specific section, but yeah, we will just be focusing on having a perfect balance of the bacteria here. The next is helping our digestion, and here we will use this amethyst. Amethyst in this case is really helpful with the digestive system. gonna be sweeping everything bad that was in our gut away again. So the next thing we will be focusing on is improving our diet, being more mindful about what we eat, I would say. There are certain foods that can help us support our gut health. As well as what can help us accept our cravings. Sometimes it's okay to give into the cravings that you have, because not only make the life a little bit more sweeter in the sense that, because sometimes often, for example for me, I used to be so, oh no, I should not eat too many cookies because, you know, of the sugar, not necessarily because of weight but because I was scared of getting cavities. But you know, it's not the sugar. That if you take good care of your teeth, you can get cavities just because of this acid that your teeth itself can develop. It doesn't necessarily have to be triggered by sweets. And so now I've been allowing myself have those cookies. You know, I bought like these rolls that they have, and just, you know, one cookie after lunch, kind of like as a dessert, and one after dinner if I feel like it. There are days where I just want one cookie a day, sometimes two. There were even days where I wanted three, and you know, it was okay. I allowed myself to have that because that kind of like inspired me a little bit also by my grandma, that she has been restricting a lot of foods because of her doctor. You know, he said health-wise you shouldn't eat salt anymore, like cooking with salt and everything. And then now this summer she said, I don't listen to him anymore, because if I'm gonna die, at least I die with a full stomach and I enjoyed my meal. And that kind of like opened up my eyes as someone that I used to binge, or like hear a trigger warning just in case, but I binged eat a lot after my, like during my hairdresser apprenticeship and after my hairdresser apprenticeship, because of stress. I was so stressed and burned out, and food was my comfort, and it continued on after I graduated for I think like almost a year. And that's when I realized, I'm like, I sometimes eat just because I felt like I have to. Not even because I was necessarily hungry. And yes, I have the luck that I have fast metabolism and I didn't gain weight, but just because of that, it didn't make it okay. Because at the end of the day, it was something psychological that made me eat. So I started, at the beginning, I did restrict quite a lot because I was like, no, I have to be healthy and everything. But the more you get on your healthy journey and healing journey, I started to realize, what is one cookie a day gonna do me bad, As long as I do it in moderation. But not saying that if I wanted to eat a whole pack a day of cookies, it wouldn't be bad either. It's just I like to eat portions now because then I can enjoy it a little bit longer. And then I don't have to go buy as many snacks. And I improved quite a lot. When my binge eating was really heavy, I used to eat 1 to 2 chips pack a day, every single day, for I think almost a year. And obviously, there comes a point where the body just will be nope. And that point didn't come for me, but this was more because I started to realize maybe my thinking isn't the most healthy, and that was the first step to accepting that basically I had an eating disorder without even realizing it. So yeah, we're gonna move on with reducing the inflammation and bloating with the help of this blue lace agate. And depending on what you eat, you might bloat a little bit or you might bloat quite a lot. I mean, I'm right now not really that much bloated because I just had breakfast and it was pretty light because I don't know if you can hear it by my stuffy nose, but I had like an allergy attack at the beginning of this week and I just could not eat because I could not breathe properly because everything here was like swelled up, so eating was really hard. So I almost didn't eat anything, which I'm starting to notice because my body's kind of like, give me food. But that's why I'm like barely bloated. But usually when I eat lunch or dinner, and I eat quite a lot, so I have like a mini baby stomach. And it's not even that you sometimes eat a lot. It can just happen if you eat a little bit because your stomach cannot handle it perfectly fine. And we will be improving that from now on. I also want to put a disclaimer real quick about the story that I told beforehand, because maybe to some of you it might seem like, oh, like eating only like chips like that was not really something bad. It was not only like I would buy like a whole plastic bag of food during lunchtime when I was working and basically scarf down everything in that bag. Which, I mean, when you think about how much I spent almost every day on food was like $15, like of unnecessary stuff. And I just would scarf down everything during that half hour that was still left over from lunch. And then during work, well, not during work because, I was so busy, but after I went home, continue eating, and then eating dinner, and then still eating until right before I went to bed and repeat the same process the next day. I'm sometimes even fascinated by how I didn't get sick by eating all that. But yeah, you can always improve everything that you notice, and with dedication and patience, better it. For example, nowadays I just eat whenever my body is really hungry, and not just because I'm bored, or there was even a time that I could only watch a TV show or a YouTube video if I had food, which was also kind of like weird to even get to that point. But it's just because I had formed such an attachment to food, and it was like the only thing that gave me happiness in that time. But it's also I was really struggling with my depression during that time. It's just everything piled up, so food really was my comfort. But now I switched out my diets, and I am more mindful about what I put in my body, while still occasionally have snacks here and there. And I am the most happiest now with food. I have a newfound appreciation for food. And I hope this inspired a little bit for the people that struggle with it as well. That it takes time, but you will work through it. But please don't be so harsh on yourself. The more harsh you are on yourself, the more difficult it will be for you. And it's exactly that time that you need to show yourself a little bit more self-love, to give yourself the motivation to do that change. There we go. I'm gonna finish up with a overflow so that you're ready to tackle anything that lies beforehand you with a newfound energy. I hope you enjoyed this session and that my ramblings kind of like inspired you a little bit to look at it from a different perspective, and that you feel a little bit more like your relationship with food from now on can be a little bit improved, because your gut is like, I can finally digest perfectly fine without having any issues. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being here, and goodbye everyone.